Okay, so I just wanted to give a little demonstration of how this works. My last video was maybe a little rambling and pedantic, and because I used PowerPoint, I wasn't able to really demonstrate anything, so just an annoyance of the way the built-in Windows screen recording works. I can't show multiple windows at once, so I'll make separate videos for kind of each of the layers of abstraction. I think I only need to make two. So right now we're zoomed into the sequencer itself. So again, there are 4 instances of this sequencer running in parallel, so this is just one of them. But you can see that these, whereas before I just kind of opened it and then taken a screenshot and everything was just set to 0, you can see now how as I press keys, things will happen. So right now the counter happens to be on slot number 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're over here, and the next atom then gets populated, and the next atom then gets populated, and so on and so forth, and it'll circulate around, you'll see, and so on. I'm kind of moving up the keyboard monotonically the same way that these atoms are increasing from left to right. In any case, so I hit some of those same atoms in the same spots, which is why it appeared to not move a second ago. But anyway, so you can see how, and hopefully you can hear me banging the keys. Each one of those literal me banging on the keys bangs this tree here, which increments this and which shoves these values into these number atoms here. And essentially that's the whole point. So if I'm pressing multiple keys at once, only one of those values is going to come in to this particular instance of sequencer. But I don't know why I said that like that. Only one of those values will come into the sequencer here, and then the other values will go into the other parallel running instances of the sequencer. And I can trigger play here by hitting this bang, which is what would happen if you hit the play message kind of 2 layers up, which I showed in the previous video. But you know what that's going to do is now it's going to open this spigot, close this spigot, open this spigot, close this spigot, start the metronome running, and the metronome is now going to increment this circular counter at a fixed interval. And it'll now be passing. You can see the way these all come through the single atom makes it easy to see the way that the individual note values and velocities are going to get passed. No, wrong one. This one, hello. Yes, like that. I think it was a little jittery when it started, but it's running. Oh no, that's just because there's a bunch of 48s here. Okay, and now if I touch the keyboard, nothing works, which is maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. It's just kind of a matter of fact of the way that this works. I think, most sequencers, if you hadn't run out of voices, you'd be able to play notes on top as the sequencer was running. So that's maybe a pitfall here. Perhaps I'll be able to figure out a way around that in the future. I have to go 2 levels up to actually hit the stop button, which again I'm pretty sure you can't see me opening that other window to do that, but I've just stopped it. What else did I want to say is, so this works because ultimately the key that I'm pressing and the velocity that I'm pressing it with get passed through when all I'm doing is playing the keyboard. So it gets stored and also passed through, which is what makes this useful. I can just put it in line with essentially the note in, so I go note in to sequencer and then from sequencer to the actual synthesizer. And same thing when I'm banging all those things back out, it goes right into the sequencer, or right into the synthesizer from the sequencer. So, if I press a note really hard, I get a really high velocity. I'll do that again. I'll press it really soft, and I get a velocity of 1. This is not the nicest little MIDI keyboard here I'm using, so it doesn't have very smooth control in between. I just got a really high value and a really low value. But you can see I can get some intermediate values if I just kind of press it normal. Hopefully you can hear when I hit it really hard, and that comes in as 127. So yeah, now you've seen everything working. Hopefully that makes things make a little more sense. So now I'll make another video and just kind of go up to the top level, and you can maybe get a better sense for it from up there as well.